Gentlemen's Club, and of course we've got with us our political analyst and of course political journalist, political animal, political podcaster. My brother, you are a man of different hats. How are you doing? Welcome to it, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Uncle Zach. Thank you so much to the gentleman. No, I'm honored, man. I'm honored to grace this beautiful platform again. Thank you for welcoming me, man. Thank you so much.
No, absolutely, brother. You are a friend of the show. You've been giving us updates, Ditaba with Rabbie Root in 2 minutes, and you've been giving us an update with what's happening in the world of politics, man. So we're going to dive right into it. Let's talk about this week, man. A lot has happened.
Oh, man. The consensus is that July must not end because we need more revelations.
Yes.
This is the consensus. And you know what I've realized? What I've realized is that we are in a point, perhaps we have consistently been at this point, where we are looking for a savior. And it seems that we believe that Mkonazi is some form, shape of it.
Yes.
Because even things that are not related to his revelations, they might refer to them as allegations. He's got WhatsApp messages. He's got proof. Right, let's call them revelations for the sake of the discussion, right? Yeah. Based on the revelations, there are other things that are not related to the things that he has spoken about that have just cracked open.
Yeah.
Like in the past week, we've even forgotten that that a minister was fired and replaced. We have forgotten that because we are focused in Sandton. We are focused on Kenny Kunene, what was he doing in the Sandton house? Yeah. And we are really focused on who is the journalist. Now, I just want to give the listener a bit of context, just in case they might have missed this.
Yeah.
So essentially, the deputy president of the Patriotic Alliance, Kenny Kunene, who's also the MMC of Transport, he was found in the house of an alleged killer of DJ somebody. And his reasoning as to why he was there is that he had come for a story. He had brought a journalist. Now, the issue is bringing a journalist to whatever story, that's not a secret mission. Therefore, the journalist can be named. But the party is not intending to name the journalist, which now brings in suspicions that does the journalist exist? My thinking, there was a person.
Yeah.
He was not by himself. But that person couldn't have been a journalist.
Oh.
Could be a friend, could be an assistant, it could be somebody. Because you don't protect journalists. No.
At your expense.
No.
Be fired, but you keep quiet about the journalist. It doesn't make sense.
Exactly. You protect sources. In journalism, that's how it works. You protect sources, not the journalists themselves. A journalist can stand in court and they have a right to not name their sources, not the other way around, that you are not naming a journalist.
What's there to hide? Why hide the journalist?
Well, I believe, gentlemen, you can weigh in on this. I believe it is easier to have a ghost of a person who is supposedly a journalist and not have that person questioned because Kenny Kunene can do the answering himself as he has given the story. Therefore, we are supposed to take the story as bottom line and that's it. Because even with deep diving into the online newspaper that Kenny Kunene owns, you will notice that their website has been long neglected. Less than 15 articles, none of them attributed to no journalist, staff reporter all the time. Even the story about Kenny Kunene being at the wrong place at the wrong time, even that is staff reporter.
So you kind of sketching a possible idea that the person potentially that was there may have been a staff reported character.
That's
but not an actual journalist, but maybe a stand-in who can write something and We can, you know, when you don't have your business in order, you can escape through the goats.
Mm.
And that seems to be that maybe the business wasn't all the way in order, and maybe it's a person who writes, but they're not an official writer.
We have a description, though, of the alleged young journalist. The story is that he's fresh from varsity.
Oh, he did.
Almost
say
like
that.
an intern, potentially for hire.
Yes.
Wow.
So
So he's protecting the asset of the child.
But
young
now,
person.
here's the situation. In journalism, this is how it works. A story like this propels you.
Mm.
Mm.
Yes.
Therefore, if you are being protected, your name is not on that article. What does it mean for your journalism career? You didn't break that story, but you are the only journalist in the entire country who was there.
Mm.
It's a catch-22 here, isn't it?
Mm.
That it is.
Mm.
Wow. It's a fire keg.
All right, I've got a clip here. Kenny Kunene was answering those very difficult questions. Can I play it quickly and
Let's do
then
that.
continue our conversations? Just for those of you who have not seen, I don't know where you could be living if you don't know what happened this week. And also something interesting from Julia's comments about this man being told to lie on the ground. We'll play that clip a little bit later. Let's take a listen to this one.
No relationship to Mr. Molefe whatsoever.
Yes, we have no relationship.
You never met him before you saw him being arrested
No,
on that
I met him
in his
before.
driveway. Where had you met him?
I saw him where I met him. One of the person that arranged for the interview, when he hosted his mother's birthday at his place, I went because I know this person, and Mr. Molefe was there. They know each other.
You spoke?
Mr. Molefe was there. No, I didn't speak to Mr. Molefe because I went with my own people, and everybody would then have a corner. But I saw him there. So but I have not had conversations with Mr. Molefe.
Okay.
That is why when the police asked me, do you have his number? I said, no, I don't have Mr. Molefe's number. In fact, here is my phone, punch his number and see if I have it. They said, no, we believe you. Then they said, but how did you get here? I said, that person there, because he was there also, the person that
So
facilitated.
you have a link
I
to
said-
Mr. Molefe,
I
though.
said
You have a
that-
person who can contact him for you.
No. The way you are putting it is
I'm
that
asking.
it's continuously contact. The person there sent me the address. They said, let's see.
Okay.
I showed the police that this is the person that sent me the address, which means, and the police accepted that because if I had a relationship with Mr. Molefe, he would have sent me the address.
Yeah.
If I had been there before,
Yeah.
I wouldn't need an address. So getting the address shows that I have never been there before. I have no relationship with Mr. Molefe. I don't have his cell number, and the police established that.
Okay, so like I said,
Yeah, man. I don't know what you make of that, gentlemen. I mean,
Yo, I
Sound-
gotta say something.
Okay.
You know, I just have feelings of, you know, menace to society, Bill Duke, and he's talking to old dog, and he's saying, did you have the beer in your hand or did you not? You know you done effed up, right?
yeah.
You know, and he just kept going back. So I get a feel like, I'm not saying that innocent or guilty. I can't speak to that.
Yeah.
But it didn't seem fluid.
Mm.
It seemed like you're reaching for something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eish.
Yeah, there's a lot of backpedaling on that. It seemed, yeah, it sounds interesting.
I mean, because you know, innocent should be till you're proven guilty.
Yeah.
Number one. So I don't ascertain a position to take sides and who was wrong. First, I want to just say, you know, rest in peace to the victim. You know, that's horrible.
Mm.
You know, I think there's a human life that's involved with this, where somebody's son, somebody's brother, somebody's friend lost their life to some really sketchy behavior. You know, we always must give respect to the slain. We really don't know what happened in that room. You know,
That's correct, because actually a lot of what is being said is that the fact that DJ somebody's family can at least have closure, knowing that the alleged perpetrators are now going to court, it gives them some sense of closure. And all of this all of these revelations that have been coming out, it is not really at exactly the hand of KZN Police Minister Mkhwanazi, but how it is coming across, it's like he opened a big can of worms.
Yeah.
And his utterances, regardless of it being going against protocol and holding a press briefing in his own capacity, without involving senior government officials and putting out all of these revelations, it has opened up a can of worms, and the trail that follows everything that he has spoken about has resulted in a lot of people being brought to what we can call justice ahead of them going to court and so forth. Even cases that are not even related to the things that he has spoken about. You know, I saw something that was quite funny, because we have a new Minister of Higher Education, Butimana Mel.
Yeah. And
even that was attributed to Mkhwanazi's efforts, though we are aware that the former minister was found lying, obviously, in Parliament and so forth. Even that, the whole notion of saying everything that is coming to light in July, we must attribute it to this perceived savior that we have always been looking for. Yeah. I think that it brings some sense of unity, and I can't explain the unity enough. I can't explain the unity enough, because you look at even from last week when there were marches, hands off Mkhwanazi.
Yes.
Because there's consensus that, hey man, he has spoken so much and his life is in danger. As he said it himself, that I put my life on the line because I want to come out with the truth. I speak of unity in that sense because everybody was up in arms. And when I say everybody, I'm including all the races.
Yes. Yeah.
His actions connected South Africans more than a rugby match.
That's so true.
That used to be the biggest, that's the epitome of what South Africans come together for.
And interestingly, you say this because South Africans are looking for a savior. They're looking for another Ibrahim Traore.
It's not going to happen.
And of course, how he did it with the military gear that he had on that day, it just sort of gave that sort of, that this is a savior we're looking for. Somebody who doesn't take nonsense, somebody who wants to deal with the crime and the rot that we have in our system. So, yeah, man, powerful stuff. Brother, I want to listen to another gentleman by the name of Mr. Julius Malema, because, Malema was quiet for some time, especially when Mkhwanazi was releasing all these files. And but now I see he's out that now that Kenny, his rival, is being thrown under the bus. So take a listen to this one.
That the political killing task team is going to come for him. That one doesn't work whether you've got a protection or not. Once they've got their facts, you wake up in the morning in pajamas, floor, go down on your floor. Can you imagine Kenny Kunene with that stomach, floor, on the floor? They don't play. Hey, I'm MMC, high floor. We'll see that thing of MMC later. Bloody thug. So those ones are not for any politician. If you think that's why they are killing that team. If you think that team favors politicians, is scared of politicians, you must ask one politician called Kenny Kunene. Floor, down. When he finishes there, he calls his boss. I was on the floor. Okay, which police officer does that to you? Political killing task team. Doesn't play that one. We must protect it. We must allow it to exist, to deal with dangerous criminals, especially those who kill our people.
Yeah, man. Julius Malema right there. And of course, he doesn't mince his words.
No, he doesn't.
Man, no, he doesn't, man.
The thing about Malema is that he's been speaking highly, giving praises to Police Minister KZN Mkhwanazi, even prior to all of this. In fact, earlier in the year at a Freedom Day rally, he was mentioning that Mkhwanazi actually has has some cases that he's working on, and they're trying to block him. And he was hoping that a time like this comes, because he said it himself that we understand the protocol measures that were not followed, but the importance of the information that came out and the connections and the links that all of a sudden emerged. For example, the gun that was used to kill DJ Somebody is linked to about 10 other crimes.
Sure.
You understand?
Really?
Yes.
What?
So all of this came out because protocol was broken. Therefore, had Mkhwanazi not decided to speak up, we would not be having a situation where we are having these links brought up. It might have happened eventually, but we say there's some sort of pressure that came, because he mentioned names. He was not just making allegations that somebody, he was mentioning names, and the names included obviously the minister, Mkhunu, who was suspended. He was put on leave of absence. And then obviously the country was saying, no, but like, doesn't the ANC have a step aside rule where you're supposed to fire them? You know? And obviously the Democratic Alliance would be the first ones to say, you need to fire the minister. Because you'll recall that their minister, Whitfield, deputy minister, was fired for visiting the United States without permission. So of course, even though they are all part of the government of national unity, siblings always fight.
But here's the thing, bro. Sorry to jump in there. It's a fair request by the DA to say fire the minister instead of putting him on special leave. I think the allegations against the minister are far worse than just going to the US. Of course, the US was also a big issue. Yeah. But I do think that the DA has a point. I mean, why is the president protecting Mchunu? Is it to do with the influence of Mchunu in KZN, and the president just doesn't want to mess around with the support base that comes from KZN through Mchunu?
It is assumed. In fact, political analyst Prince Mashele, he also doesn't mince his words.
Yes.
He is speaking of the connection between the minister Mkhunu and Cyril Ramaphosa. Speaking that for the CR17 campaign for Ramaphosa to become president, yes, Mkhunu had a stronghold in KZN in terms of mobilizing, voters. He had a very strong influence in that regard. But what it is being said, he's not alleging, he says it. He says dirty money was flowing there. This is what links Mkhunu and Ramaphosa, essentially saying that they know each other's skeletons.
Yes.
And it explains why he is not fired. He is put on leave because he will still get paid. This is the situation. Now it means we are going to be paying a minister, Mkhunu, who is on leave of absence, and we are going to also be paying Kachalia, who is now going to be acting as the minister. We're going to be paying two people for the same post. And now what happens is that another thing that really makes us look at the ANC with an awkward eye is that how do you justify suspending the minister from his ministerial position? But as a member of parliament in ANC,
he still remains.
He is still working. Just last week he was in Cape Town. The ANC's National Working Committee were having their engagements. In fact, even prior to that, on Mandela Day, he was in KZN. He was head of the mobilization for Mandela Day there. That was the first time that he came out and started speaking regarding the allegations. So it's a bit of a messy situation.
Yeah, and of course there are some camps who say that the step aside rule is meant for others, not for everyone. So those who are linked to the president and the CR17 campaign are protected, whereas people like Ace Magashule and others had to step aside when the allegations were brought up against them. So, yeah, very interesting indeed. Gents, can we take a quick break? Rihanna's standing by to give us some updates with regards to health and wellness. And when we come back, we continue our conversation. And so, of course, Gayton Mackenzie has responded, and we want to hear what Gayton speaks about in suspending his deputy president. So, interesting times in the world of politics today in South Africa, man. So, this is a gentleman's club. Rihanna, I hope you're standing by. I hope you're good, girl. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Tell us what's happening in the world of health and fitness.
Good morning, Uncle Zach, and to all of the Bogart radio listeners. I'm Rihanna, your health expert, and this week I am talking about 4 essential micronutrients that everybody needs, especially reaching the age of 35 and above. Your first one is get some vitamin D. This is important because it supports bone health, immune function, and mood regulation. And you can get this from your fatty fish like your salmon, your dairy, and your eggs. Your second one would be calcium. This is important for strong bones and teeth, muscle function, and nerve signaling. And that you can get from dairy, your leafy greens, and almonds. And this is especially important for women due to declining bone density, especially once we get to that age. Your third one is magnesium. This is super, super important. It supports muscle function, energy production, and sleep quality. So I encourage you to take your magnesium before bed. And this is also found in nuts, your seeds, whole grains, leafy greens, and the best part, dark chocolate. The fourth one is vitamin B, especially your B12 and your B6. This is important because your B12 supports nerve function and red blood cell formation, whereas your B6 helps with brain health and hormone regulation, which also is equally important. And that you will find in your meat, your eggs, and your dairy. The other thing is that your B12 absorption declines with age, and especially those who have gut issues. So these are my top 4 micronutrients that is very important to have, especially once we get a lot older. Well, good luck, guys. I hope you've drafted up this list onto your next grocery shopping list. Have a good weekend. Catch you next week.
Thank you very much, my sister Rihanna, for that update. Gents, I mean, she regularly gives us some tips because as men, we have to be healthy and take care of our bodies. Now, with everything you do, my brother, how do you make sure, just slightly off topic in terms of politics, how do you maintain your health, bro?
I walk.
What?
Yeah, I do. I walk.
Okay.
Me and the madam, we like to walk around the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is, I do that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like usually on a weekly basis. Haven't been in the past couple of weeks, but that's my main source of exercise.
And eating, are you very careful of what you eat?
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's in charge of the food, so.
Okay.
But we always have greens, we always have veggies. But what I like from what Rihanna is saying, that I can definitely do, is have peanuts before you sleep, because magnesium helps you fall asleep. So you can have peanuts as a snack.
Yeah.
You already have peanuts as a snack.
It's good for controlling the cramps, Charlie horses.
Oh.
Magnesium, potassium, they work good because, sometimes you can catch Charlie horses.
Charlie horses?
Yeah, from
What's
dehydration, like cramps.
Okay.
Toe cramps.
I'm just happy that eating peanuts before I sleep can help me have better quality sleep. It's something that doesn't take much changing into the groceries and so forth. That's something quite simple that anyone can actually do, because peanuts are quite accessible, quite affordable at that as well.
Very true.
So I'm gonna snack on peanuts tonight before I sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I used to take the B12 shots, and B12 is really good. I mean, it helps you lose weight. It helps you, gives you energy, and it just makes you feel overall like more energetic, and you feel very vibrant. But you can't take too much of that, because then you're gonna need those peanuts to go to sleep because it will keep you up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So B12 is definitely something that we, as we get older. I mean, I was taking it when I was younger, but she reminded me now to start thinking about that as a regimen as I get older as well.
Juicing.
Yeah, beautiful, man. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Thanks, Rihanna, for those health updates and wellness updates. And of course, we need it. It's a Saturday morning. You got to be careful of what you eat. And we got to take care of ourselves, man. It's an important thing. All right. So, gents, back to the politics. Interestingly, we're talking about Kenny Konene, the steering for the week. It sounds like South Africa's a big movie, bro.
Yo, and here's the thing, man.
A blockbuster.
What I've learned is that we never follow through. This is the problem. I say this to mean that we have a quite a short attention span.
Very true.
We are now waiting for something else.
Yes.
Because this is how we operate. It's like we get a bit of a high from high engaging news that has all of these elements that we associate with Hollywood. We want that. We want more of that. And that is quite damaging to a society.
Yeah.
Because when you look at it, we want distraction to soothe us. And we want it quick. We want shots of it every single day. Next week, we'll be talking of something else. And we would have forgotten about what has happened this week.
You know, Black America has fueled that behavior. That comes from wanting to be like us on that side. Everything is motivated behind chaos, crime, murder, rape, drugs.
Yeah, you ain't never lying.
Like, you look at the damn shows on most of the networks, and it's shows that are depicting just problem issues for people. South Africa is the answer to the continents, you see, the world. This is the place of origin too, so it's the beginning point of mankind.
The Garden of Eden.
It is Eden. It's right here in South Africa. It's not up somewhere else. The original person started right here. So our ideology here encompasses the foundation of ideals, and then everything spread out. South Africa's got a great position. I'm curious to know, how the hell do we get the EFF and the ANC and the other parties and the communities to come together? Put your differences to that side. Let's find out a common ground. Like, let's not try to be one religion. Let's try to encompass the principles that bring us together in wholeness.
Yeah.
Because right now, you have this fight with the EFF and the ANC, and it's not stopping. Why in the hell don't these two men sit down, closed door session, and have a talk? And I'm not talking about with the gloves on. They're too old for that.
Yeah.
I'm saying
maybe they need the gloves.
You need to talk. Or better yet, those big soft tissue suits. You just run into each other, and knock each other over, no pain. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people listen to their voice.
Maybe they actually need to like get into the box, because sometimes some people have big mouths and they never stop. So the only way to shut it up, man.
We box,
to
yes.
Like box, like
yeah,
the
that's
old
the other
school
piece.
way. But I mean, it sounds like I'm promoting violence.
The boxing ring, not necessarily. I mean, how do we define that? Let's say this is a boxing ring.
Yeah.
How do we do that without the violence?
Yeah.
Because right now, South Africa needs leadership. They just signed a treaty with the United States, which is a good thing, because the United States is the most powerful country on the continents, on the earth. You avoided one conflict, but now you have an internal combustion happening. There can no one can be above principle. The law, that's something that's up to discretion, but principles, that's a higher law.
Principles.
And all men, and I look at these two men because I know that they're fathers of these men. What principle do you say to your children? Not the law. Because, a parent will say, don't do what I do as I say. But what the hell does that mean? Because we watch what you do all day. What you say is conflict to what you do. What's the principle at the table? These men need to sit together, need to conflict resolve. You got issues, we know. Man, put that shit to the side and focus on the needs of the family and the community, the culture's direction. Then that's a different conversation. And people who do things, you know, even if it looks like you did it, you're moved, you're out. You have breached the integrity.
I think I like what he's saying, but is it possible for black people to unite in a common goal, especially if you look at the number of black political parties that there are in the country at the moment, which makes it even more difficult for blacks to be united because they are diluted. And that's why the DA will come up with 27% and have so much more seats, so much more power. And then the black vote is dwindling because it's divided into all these multiple black parties.
And the thing with that is that politics is a career. It is a job.
Yeah.
It's like being a waiter. You understand? And having a multi-party democracy is automatically an engineered structure to divide the black vote. Automatically. We will call it democracy. We will call it freedom of association. We'll call it all of those, but automatically at its core is that.
Yes.
The DA, for example, they always say that this is not about race. But when you look at it, it is. Though it shouldn't, but it is. And the reason that it is, and the reason that their numbers are high, is because a majority of the white people, a majority of the minority, they vote only for the DA or the Freedom Front Plus.
And they show up on election day.
Yes.
Yes.
And we hardly show up, and we are scattered. So the unity of black parties is also another situation. You've mentioned something very important, principle. Now, ideologically, the ANC, the EFF, the MKP, well, maybe the MKP here and there a little bit because of their support for Morocco, but ideologically, they represent the same thing as far as what they project to the masses. They represent the same thing, giving back power to the people. Power in terms of what? In terms of opportunities, in terms of reaching some sort of equilibrium when we're speaking of equality. That is what they all represent. But principle, that's something different. We look at the corruption, for example. And if we look at everything that has been emerging from within the ANC this week only, for example, and you would think that parties like the EFF and the MKP, though they have their own scandals themselves, you would think that they would not want to associate themselves because that's how they attack each other. Corruption gives the other parties within the black parties, gives the other parties leverage over the other ones because they all stand for the same thing. So what they would say is that what differentiates us as Rise Africa or as MKP or as any other party that we can refer to as a black party is that we are not corrupt. You understand? So it's principles at the end of the day because ideology is the same.
Is it fair to say that they are not corrupt because they are not in power? They are not in, because it's easy to say, I'm not corrupt until you get power.
Yeah, absolutely.
And be tested.
Yes, absolute corrupt.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen fine, good men going into political, power, and then they change. They forget where they come from. All right, gents, I want to play out this particular clip by Mr. Gayton McKenzie. I mean, this man, I think what I find interesting about him, is that he's a former criminal who then became a member of parliament. And him and, Kenny Kunene. And interestingly, this has been brought up so many times as if there are no other criminals in parliament. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, some of the ANC members were in prison also, you know, but they seem to just make these ones look bad.
I suppose it's because these ones, their criminality is recent. And so what they look at why you went to prison.
Okay.
Now, you take a look at much of the leadership, the older generation of the leadership in the ANC. Their reasons for going to prison is not the same reasons that Kenny Kunene went to prison.
That's true.
Kenny Kunene went to prison because he was involved in armed robberies and fraud and so forth. Their reasons for going to prison was opposing the system. We are not saying that in the new age there aren't any ANC members that have been involved in criminality. We are not saying that. But in terms of distinguishing between how the criminality of the Patriotic Alliance, we call it that. It is. They say it themselves. Mackenzie says that I am a former criminal. I know how to deal with criminals. In fact, he wanted to be deployed to a ministry where he will deal with criminals, saying that he would make changes within 45 minutes because he knows where to go. But that's also dangerous.
That's dangerous.
Because you already know, why aren't you coming out with it now? Do you need to go to the ministry that allows you to do that? He should also be called to the commission. Tell us what you were referring to.
What do you know?
Let's just root that out before any opportunity for yourself to go into a ministry that deals with crime in that sense. Just tell us. We have Mkwanazi. His contract ends in December. There's still some months. Just tell us now.
Yeah.
We will take care of it.
Sure. Interestingly, man. All right, so let's take a listen to Gayton Mackenzie, what he said about his own deputy having to fire him. It must have been one of the most difficult things to do. Let's take a listen to this.
So the issue of Kenny Kunene, he was there at this house of this guy that killed people. So at the Patriotic Alliance, we don't just talk. We removed the deputy president from his position as deputy president. We have removed him from a position of MMC. We've removed him from a position of a councillor. We've removed him from being involved politically with us. But we believe in him. But you can't demand of the ANC and of the DA to do things that you don't want to do. As a leader, I must treat Kenny Kunene the same as I treat any other member of the party. If that was any other member of the PA, putting the PA in the news in disrepute, we would have taken action. Why must I not take action against Kenny Kunene? I had to, because it shows you what type of government you're going to get when the Patriotic Alliance take over. We don't look at who you are. We are decisive. We deal with the matter. Kenny Kunene, we have no doubt, we that knows him, we know he will prove his innocence, but not at the expense of full transparency. So there's no VIPs in the Patriotic Alliance. Even if you catch me at the house of a killer tomorrow, I must also stand back. So I wanted to make that one clear. Where have you ever seen in this country any president, any leader take action so quickly? This thing happened on Wednesday and Tuesday. Today, action has already been taken. Ons Baizani. Salute.
Yeah, what do you make of what he said, bro?
I completely agree with the notion of taking decisive measures timelessly. Because you look at situations where you've had ministers who have been going to court for corruption cases. This is the situation. There are times where we are governed by a person who is in court for corruption. Immediately after court, it's a Monday morning, it's a normal day of work. Immediately after court, they are in the office governing us. You understand? So what the Patriotic Alliance is saying here is quite key. It's important that Mackenzie says we are going to take measures that we expect President Cyril Ramaphosa to take in such instances. And you can't argue with that. You can't argue with that. There's something that I like to say, even when it comes to the DA. Whenever they have a point, you might be opposed to them ideologically in terms of what they stand for, the interest of business, and them opposing all the redress policies and so forth. But when they have a point, you owe it to yourself to be fair and say, they are right. This is the same situation. There is nothing better to hear from a politician than saying that by Tuesday, my deputy president mentioned that he was found at the house of a killer. By Wednesday, he was already suspended. That's what we want.
Yeah,
So do you feel like that's a sign of accountability?
I do believe so. I do believe so, especially coming from a person who mentions it themselves, that they are familiar with crimes and all of these things, and they say that essentially he's saying, without saying it, that I don't need the court to decide if he's guilty for me to take a decision. This does not look good. It puts us in disrepute, and therefore I'm taking measures, accountability. You understand? You can't argue with that. You applaud that.
Absolutely. So interestingly, in the video that Kenny Kunene was being interviewed, asked about his whereabouts, he's wearing 2 watches. And then somebody says, for a guy who has 2 watches on, he was at the wrong time, at the wrong place.
Damn.
And then I just see another comment here. Bronwyn says, I just need to know why he's wearing 2 watches. He doesn't even trust his own time. That's why.
Wow.
Man.
Crazy, man. Mr. Rabbie Road, thank you very much for your time, man. It's been awesome chatting to you.
Thank
And
you, brother.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
you always give us such great insights about what's happening politically, and we appreciate you, brother. So what do you think is going to happen next week? I mean, do you have the bones you can throw on the floor just to see what else we can expect?
Those chicken or goat bones.
Okay, firstly, the 30% tariffs against South Africa from the US, they're kicking in on the 1st of August. I don't need bones for that. It's definitely happening. And obviously the ANC is still scrambling to see how they can avoid this US-SA International Relations Review Bill.
Yeah.
Because we are being punished for being friends with Russia and China and so forth. So I foresee that becoming something else that replaces what's happening this week.
Yeah.
More news is going to come out from that. And then once the population has come down a little bit from being angry at Kenny Kunene, from applauding Mkhwanazi, what's going to be happening is that they're going to be saying, but why is America trying to choose for us who we must be friends with? That's what's going to be happening next week.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's going to be ugly.
It's going to be ugly, man. And the 30%, how, just a short response to this one, how does it impact us as South Africans, the 30% tariff on us?
It really impacts our agricultural sector. We export quite a lot of, like you look at your citrus and so forth. It's going to impact the agricultural sector. In terms of the average person, obviously if the sector is impacted, job losses. That's how it's going to impact us.
They're going to be quick.
Yeah.
God damn. Brother, thank you very much, man.
Much appreciated.
Your political insights are always so inspiring. And where can people follow you? Of course, you've got your platforms.
Yes, at Rabbie_road everywhere.
Yeah.
It's that.
Yes.
And shout out to you, man. Your platform is growing, bro.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I appreciate you
Thanks,
guys for
man.
being a part of that growth.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Once we are big together.
We are
Yeah,
big
boo.
together,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you so much, man. There's so much happening today later on. Of course, there's a 50th birthday party and an 82nd. Did I get it right?
Yes.
All right. Happening today. Tell us about it.
So my mentor, Charles Saunders, he's the owner of Mandeville Sports Club.
Yeah.
And it's his birthday. We share the same week of birthday, so I'll be sharing mine with him as well.
Yeah.
And it's going to be at the arena. There's some pro basketball games today as well. So it's going to be a hype, incredible event.
Yeah.
Just all the way around.
Oh man, looking forward to that, man. Shout out to the for the invite. We appreciate it. All right, gents. This is how we come to the end of the Gentleman's Club, man. This time just goes so quickly, man. Come on. Oh man. So the echoes of the city are standing by. They're gonna be coming through between 11 and 1 p.m. So do watch and follow Bogart Man Radio. And this has been a Gentleman's Club. It's been fun. It's been amazing. Thank you very much, gents.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you. All right, so we're gonna break out with a song. Can I play it? All right, so this one is TK, Taking You Back into Time. It's featuring Twister. It's called How Do You Feel? Let's do this.